Oh, I can see it on in chat.
Yeah,
I'm reading it.
okay, I'll read it out loud. So it's official. The one and only DeadSideBlues has arrived on stage. This talented music streamer has been with us since day one, gracing our very first podcast with his presence. Not only that, but he's also the mastermind behind the early designs and messaging, and even designed our epic booth, for TwitchCon Paris and Las Vegas. Let's give a big round of applause to DeadSideBlues. Woo!
Wow. How are you doing, guys? How you
Good,
doing?
good you.
Holy
Doing good,
shit!
yeah.
It's good to see you both in Jelly, man. It's been a while. It's good to see
It's
you.
been a very long time, yeah.
Holy shit, man. Like, and first of all, congratulations on getting out of the beta, man. That is
Thank you.
huge.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, you literally went through it all, specifically as you were in the alpha, man.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So like it's what how long like we did Vegas like what was that almost a year and a half ago, something like that.
a year and a half,
Short of
yeah.
that.
Yeah, we prepared together TwitchCon Paris, so almost 2 years ago now.
Holy.
And yeah, I mean, it's we started to work out the first logo, I would say around now. I mean, 2 years ago, around that time, we were chatting, so we were having feedback. I remember, I think I have a picture of me watching one of your live when I was in a pub with a friend. So I was
Yeah.
having just my computer out, you were live, and I actually dropped you a few messages, and you were like, "Oh yeah, okay, you're in a pub." So that was one of the things. But yeah, I
Oh,
think
that's great.
your account is most probably the only one that first is not on production. You're on staging like us, like it's two different environments, and it is dated on 2022, I believe. Yeah.
Holy shit.
So it's December 2022. Yeah, because I think it was a follow-up call after you've seen the live where I was in the, with the Concorde flying from Bordeaux to New York, which
Yeah.
I didn't crash. No.
All I remember is toast.
Yeah.
And I remember there were lots of them.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like confused. I knew you were playing a simulation game, but I kind of forgot which one.
Yeah. At this point, I was in a cooking simulation now.
Right, right.
That was the main one.
Yeah,
And so, even though I know us and we could be talking for hours, and we will at some
right,
point when we'll
right.
be coming in Denmark for to say hi, for sure.
Yes.
But we have some planning to go through. So I will start by asking you if you can introduce yourself and so what you do usually.
Well, yeah. So my Twitch name is DeadSideBlues. I'm located in Denmark, and I used to do a lot of music streaming. I kind of don't do that so much more. I'm thinking of a new concept to get back on Twitch, but I've been having Alicia like, since the old alpha days. And then I've also haven't been having the joy of developing some of the graphical design for Alicia. And I was looking at the stream just now, and I just like I'm happy with what we ended up with. I totally remember long talks about what is this thing? How do we how do we explain this to people? So I do advertising as my full-time job, and I really think this assignment and Alicia was so interesting because of that, because we spend a lot of time like figuring out what is this, what should it do, and like looking at the graphics now, I'm like, and you guys getting out of the beta, I'm like, yeah, it kind of still makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know, like being a startup, I thought maybe you might have changed your look 3 to 4 times since.
Yeah.
But
It just sits right. I believe even when we're talking about or showing it even 2 years after, like logo wise, the icon, the kind of roundish vibes that we have around. It has been something we're still like super comfortable with, and don't plan to change it. So it has
Well,
been
great.
something. And so, because I mean, you were really one of the first in line. How did you discover us?
Yeah, so I think like we've been hanging out at some of Yuba and I have been hanging out like in some of each other's music channels. And then one day you were playing the flight simulator, and I think that's where first like got a wind of it. I think maybe you mentioned you were building a bot or something, and that was like the early stages. And I just remember like that. I was making breakfast, and I think it was like late afternoon,
Yeah, it
though.
was. It was.
But but I mean, I've been having a late stream, and I was just hanging out at your stream, and I mean, there's like these rare times when you laugh at your screen out loud, like even though you're alone, and you're having fun with what you're doing, right? And that was one of those times, and I still remember like that toast thing. That was pretty wild. And so from then on, I was like, we talked about it a lot,
Yeah.
and you were kind of serious about it, and then we had to do some more stuff with it.
Yeah. It was I think so one of the first time joining your stream as well. Your community was very very welcoming. So yeah,
Yes.
it was really something. I mean I'll let you talk about it actually. So how was the first stream you got with Alicia in your community?
Well, I think you're right. Like the audience in my music streams are pretty welcoming, like pretty forgiving. Also, like which I mean, I'm happy about it because like then I can screw up some more and not feel too bad about it. So when we first had Alicia, like we got the usual stuff, like people chatting without knowing it's a bot and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But like I think the first thing where it really hits me is like when she adds something to the conversation, right? When she like comes with tidbits to the conversation that you wouldn't otherwise have been brought up, and making jokes about that. And then that was like probably like in the first 15 minutes in the chat of that stream. So then it's like, pretty it just seemed pretty natural, right?
Yeah.
So then you just had, and I think like I heard Sandfly and they mentioned it as well, like it's like having a dedicated viewer
Yeah.
who somehow fits in the seam of this like this community we got going on. So like that's kind of cool. So
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty eye-opening, right?
Yeah. And I know one of the character you actually used in builds was for a while one of my favorite character. I don't know if it stayed like your favorite character, but do you want to talk about the kind of darkish character you built?
I think we had numerous. But I think I don't know if that's the one you're thinking about. But we had one who was just a lazy waitress. Is that the one?
I
That's
was thinking of something a bit closer to death, actually. But
Oh, we had that one as well. Well,
yeah,
actually, now that I think about it, we should probably combine those two. Like the lazy waitress turns out to be a Grim Reaper. That could be cool, right?
yeah,
Yeah, so we did have the Grim Reaper. I mean, it's kind of good. I mean, if you're singing, it's like my channel has a lot of sad songs, and having like a Grim Reaper kind of like put in some flair and like a good period after every song with a comment is it's definitely it's pretty good. It's dark, but it's pretty good. And like it's I was trying to push the boundaries, right?
yeah,
I was trying to make her say stuff. And you know, but it was tough. Like
yeah.
even though it was the Grim Reaper, I think yeah.
She was
I
staying in
mean, I
line.
think yeah, I think so. And I think maybe that's also because of the community. I mean, like
Yeah.
it, she seems to like fit pretty well in there. None of them are dark.
Yeah. No,
Kind of
but
twisted
very.
and quirky, definitely,
Yeah,
and weird, yeah, definitely.
but really nice, like deeply nice, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's fun. Like I think one thing that really blew my mind, and I haven't really tested at all to the boundaries yet, was when it occurred to me that you could do backstories, like you can like do role playing,
Yeah.
like, and then like that kickstarted me into like thinking, like, yeah, what kind of crazy backstories could we give her, right?
Yeah. I believe Jalap
So
is very up for that, like creating always crazy backstories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
I think my issue is I always give her tragic backstory. There's always
Traumas.
something
Oh, but
tragic.
Yeah, it's a
no,
trauma. You're creating traumas. That's it.
but dude, that's like the spine of every good story and character, right?
Yeah.
So you need a tragic event, something that they need to overcome, right? It's a great story arc for
Yeah.
each, right?
And sometimes it's dumb, you know. It can be a dumb trauma. Like I was saying, like she has a phobia for beavers. So
Right.
whenever someone is talking about beavers, she's panicking. And the problem is, in my stream title, there was the word beaver, so it was stuck in some kind of panic attack where she was just talking about, no, not beavers, not again.
Well, I
You're
mean,
tiring me.
it's all too real. I mean, to be honest, right?
Yeah. So, well, I know she will take a revenge on me one day. So,
Yeah.
Right,
Sure, definitely.
right. One day she will control the beavers and turn an army of them.
She's already doing it,
well
I think.
deserved.
And so, can you tell us maybe a memorable exchange that I remember some of them, but if there is one thing that you specifically remember has happened on your channel, what would it be?
Hmm. I think misunderstandings are some of the funniest ones. I mean, like people misunderstanding stuff, and she pretty much like. I mean, it's just like I think one of them is like she names bands for us, misnames them. So Bonnie Bear becomes Bunny Bear. And that's just a thing in my channel now. Like that's like so I mean like that's what she does. She just randomly says I love that band, Bunny Bear.
Yeah, and
I don't I, I don't know if it's my pronunciation. I am Danish. I mean, I don't know what it is. But she picks it up and she runs with it and she's confident, and in that way I think she can be a role model for all of us
yeah,
artificial intelligences out there, right?
yeah. I remember one time she spontaneously asked you a song, which I believe was one of the moments again, very early stage of Alicia, so she wasn't really doing this kind of stuff at the time. Now it's more like normal to have those commands to request songs and stuff like this. But at the time, I remember watching you, and at some point she was just like, "Yeah, I want some Ray LaMontagne," and I was like,
Yeah, that was
"What?
crazy, right?
That that what?" So that was quite cool.
And
So yeah,
it's weird, like in those early days, it kind of feels like witchcraft, right?
yeah,
Some of those things feels kind of like magic because you don't know what's going on quite, like, like these are the feet. This wasn't on the box, you know what I mean? Like
yeah, yeah.
what is this? What is happening?
It's a side feature. Like it wasn't built in, but now it is. But
So
yeah,
man, yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, like, yeah. So I think like misunderstandings are very human indeed, and so I think mistakes are very good at
yeah.
that stuff. So don't make your AI perfect or flawless. I mean, why would you, right?
And I think you also have a very unique experience, as we again said. We worked together really at the beginning, very early stage, worked together in Paris, but also we flew together to Las Vegas. You helped us build like the visual and all of that, and yeah, how basically was it, and how did we avoid the biggest disaster?
Uh, I was almost about to say, did we? Because it feels like that tension is kind of still in my body. Like, but that was like the night that we landed, right?
Yeah.
Like that night, that was
Oh,
so stressful. Like I thought, like I came from Denmark and you came from England, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. So like we didn't fly over there together, and I thought maybe meeting up at the airport would be chaotic. That was the most chill, easy thing ever.
yeah,
And then like getting a car was also pretty chill, and then like but just getting the prints turned out to be difficult, and so started a stressful night, right?
yeah. Just like it never stopped actually from there. Like, it was just like building up until the next day where nothing was as we expected it.
I mean, it's the classic convention story, right?
Yeah,
But like, yeah, and then like me getting sick first, you after. Like, but I mean, like, other than that, I thought it was a very fun trip. It was really fun to like being at that convention and like being there and trying again to like talk to people about what this is and what this can do for a community. That was really fun. And like the people who come to a Twitch convention, I mean, it's hard to describe, right?
yeah,
It's like all sorts of people who kind of in a weird way are the same, right? Like, and it's beautiful, right? It's so weird. It's
yeah.
and
It's an
and
interesting
and
thing. It's an interesting mix, that's for sure. Yeah,
yeah, and I've been to some other conventions where the vibe isn't like that.
yeah.
Like it's different there. I don't know. Like, do you feel the same way, or is it just me?
I've not done too many convention. I've
Oh,
done
okay.
Yeah.
mainly two now, TwitchCon and Paris Games Week. And the thing with the Paris Games Week is it's also almost only French people. It's a French-speaking place.
Mm,
It's yeah. So you don't have this international vibe that you might have in TwitchCons, which
right,
is
right, right.
a bit different. But yeah, I think that the main thing. Just in case, so if anyone has some question in mind, that would be the right time to write it in chats as well. Getting closer to the end of the slot. I'm cautious of the time. I think I'm seeing
So,
like
guys, have
Nico.
you have you been have you been talking since 5 this afternoon?
Yeah, yeah.
Wall to
Yes.
wall? Holy shit,
And
man!
and the thing is, you know how optimistic we are in a lot of different
Right.
ways. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm sure we can find a time to actually do a quick break, like 10 minutes break. And now I'm like, I'm very
Yeah.
worried that we will be back to
Oh,
back
that was
until
our
1
break.
a.m.
Oh, that was our second break. That was our emergency break.
Yeah, exactly. So I love the question from Alicia and from Fun Family Gaming, because one of my hidden question would be, when can we expect another Dead Side Blues original? I mean, I love
Oh,
still listening the sames like again and again, but I would love to hear another one.
oh man, that's a difficult question. Like, I'd love to finish one as well. Like,
I can
actually,
imagine.
well, I mean, I'm not joking. I mean, it's like, man, and I got these songs, and like sometimes, like, I'm finishing my studies, so right now the time is a bit like tight, also for streaming.
Yeah,
But at some point, I got these songs for a second EP, and they're like almost there, like 70% there maybe. And I just need to like push it. Oh, yeah. And uh, I mean, maybe you feel the same way about finishing projects. It's damn hard sometimes, right?
yeah, yeah,
Also, like it's like then it's finite. I mean, it's like it's also nice to have have the fantasy of what this song could be. There's something sad about finishing a song, I think.
yeah. Yeah.
So when those two things, when I stop dealing with those two things, then you will have your song, Yuba. And me too. And me too. And
Yeah.
maybe, just maybe, you could come and play something on it. That could be cool.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think we could work a nice saxophone in there some place.
And
If you want to.
I'm
No
I'm
pressure.
already jamming on some of your existing songs, so I'm sure we can find some time to put a line on your new ones. Definitely, I'd be happy to do that.
That could be awesome. That could be awesome.
Yeah.
That could be awesome.
Thanks
But
a lot,
man,
Dan.
yeah, and I hope to see you in Denmark or maybe at some TwitchCon soon.
Hopefully July, man. I mean, that's a private conversation to have, but
Yep.
hopefully July. I still need to have some personal discussion, and then I'll come back to you on that.
Yes, definitely.
So, yeah.
But other than that, it was great seeing you guys, and
Likewise.
congratulations again. I mean,
Thank
awesome
you.
job.
Thanks
Awesome
a lot.
job.
And I'll see
Thank
you
you.
soon and chat soon. So enjoy the rest of your
Definitely.
evening, man.
You too, guys.
See you
Have
soon.
fun.
Bye bye.
Cheers.